nothing on your First Amendment rights. And I believe what Joe Zelnick had indicated at the meeting was that, yes, this is very good, but you should have your solicitor look it over first.
Sure.
Before you would do
Well,
it. And I've also researched other townships, local townships around here, and they don't really per se have that code of conduct, but what they have done is they've written right into their ordinances and the township code, a code of conduct that applies to everybody, whether it be a township employee, an appointee to a committee, or an elected official. And you know, that might be another way to look at the same thing. You know, you publish your code of conduct, you know, in other words, pass a code of ethics or a code of conduct ordinance that applies to all township personnel, rather than pick and choose which committees and who this covers. Because we're all representatives of our township. So it's just not fair to say.
Well, we didn't pick and choose nobody yet, so.
Well, but I think I have to echo what Tom says, is that the supervisors are a little different in that we do come under Sunshine Act and ethics codes, and if we don't, you know, comply, we could be fined or go to jail. So I think the supervisors.
But there's nothing in your code of conduct or the state code that says you're not allowed to post something on social media.
I really don't think it's appropriate for the supervisors to have a code of conduct imposed upon them that is because the state has carefully and closely monitored what supervisors are supposed to do. And when you take that oath of office, you come under half a dozen acts that really regulate what you can do and who can vote and what fashions they can vote and who can't vote on different things. It's very, I would just hate to try and come up with something that was in addition to all of the regulations that you have to obey and operate.
I just wanted to clarify the part about speaking out. It specifically said if you are speaking on behalf of the planning commission, that's where it was very specific to that. It wasn't saying you can't go to a meeting as Chuck Yeiser or Linda Jansen and say whatever it is you're going to say, you know. So, but it was a starting point. That's all, you know, I'm trying.
I know you brought it up that we could at least look at it and see once maybe, you know, we want to do something.
Right, and it, you know, if that's something you want to eventually have Tom spend time on.
Right. Okay.
I think the point is you're looking to professionalize things and have everybody work from the same playbook, and I think it's a good idea, and you know, see what we end up with.
Okay.
One other item, anybody else or own business?
Your own old business?
All right.
On the old business, you know what you know, we had a sound company come in for the sewer plant, so we're waiting for their answer back on what they come up with. So if you want to put that on, whatever you want to put it on out there,
On the website?
the website, let the people know that we are working on it, and within the next couple of days or day or two, we'll have an answer back from them on what they found.
All right, that'd be good. Okay, one thing under new business I have at Melbourne Hills, they would like to come back next week to discuss some of their plans again for that zoning and their grinder pumps. So that's more of an information item.
So what, are they going to present more information, or are they asking us for something?
I think it's just more information. I don't think they're ready to move forward
Yeah,
at
they
this point.
came to the planning commission meeting and talked in general about not only grinder pumps, but the idea of doing a plan that was more condensed and had more open space. So essentially the same number or a similar number of lots with smaller lots. In order to do that, they would need a change in zoning. So
Because of the setback issues.
and the lot
And the lot
sizes would be
sizes.
smaller. So it would actually be a revision to the zoning ordinance. And before they go into all the work towards that, we suggested at the planning commission that they might wanna see if this board is even interested in entertaining that. So my understanding is they'd be looking to come before you and say, are you willing to entertain this if we start to do this work?
Well, I don't know if this is the right place to bring it up, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway, is have we completely rejected doing a pumping station?
No.
So will we discuss that as well? Because wouldn't there be some more benefits to the township of doing that, because other
Yes.
people could hook
But
in?
It would
I
be,
mean, if they would
yes.
pay for it, so I mean, we haven't talked about that at all, I'd
No,
love to
no.
talk about that.
But the lot size is a totally separate issue.
Right, that's a totally
Yes.
separate issue,
Right.
but I mean, we spend a lot of time talking about the grinder pump and all that stuff, but there was no talk about the other option, which is
Right.
more beneficial, and this is more beneficial to them probably, but the pump station would be more beneficial to us and
Yes,
so.
it would.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Ms. Jansen, Simmons Road, regarding the pump station, I don't quite see, I'm not sure, and I have actually two questions. The pump station, they had mentioned putting it on Salford Station Road. Now, there are only 4 houses that can connect. The Goshahoppen Creek is where the R2 zoning stops. And then you have the Oschlager parcel and the Schmidt parcel on the other side. An undeveloped lot and 1 single home. So you're only looking at 3 homes that can connect by putting a pumping station there. I don't understand unless you plan on changing zoning. Is what you're saying?
So if we go up the road, up Salford Station Road and
It's
up
R1.
Zephyr, no, even though it's R1 zoning, if those existing properties, as they exist today, not talking development, but if those existing properties want to sell their house and they get their on-lot system tested and it fails,
If-
there would be an avenue to connect.
can I hold
Yes.
off here a second? She is now thinking that we're gonna rezone that whole area. And if I'm
I'm
not
not saying- I'm
mistaken,
not
well,
saying
you must
that.
be, you're talking that,
Well,
because
I guess
you are
maybe-
talking that, that's what you're saying, that's
I'm
exactly
asking,
what you're
is that
saying.
what you
No,
intend
we
to
do
do
not wanna rezone the
by
whole
putting
area.
a pump
Probably
station there?
just his field, am I correct, his project?
Well,
Well,
All right, Chuck, let me hear.
I think any discussion about rezoning was that it would be density neutral. So if they wanna put them closer together, they gotta leave more space. So it's not like we're saying, nobody was thinking along the lines of, they got 48 now, and now when we change the zoning, we'll have 75.
No,
It was they'd have
no.
48, but they'd be
But
tight.
I think what she's thinking is, if we rezone that area, are we talking rezone it, we'll go up Salford Station Road into those other fields?
Well, it would.
And no, we did not, am I correct? No?
Well, I mean, whatever zoning change would have to happen would
For that.
affect the R2.
The whole R2.
Yeah. We weren't, but we were just
so it would be a.
Okay,
looking
yeah, I
at
know.
stuff.
In
We were,
concept, it might be a change to your neighborhood lotting within the R2 to allow the same density but smaller lot sizes. That might be one way to approach it.
Because I know what Linda's saying, but the only reason why we wanted the pump station over there is because of the houses that are up on Salford Station Road with the failing systems.
Yeah, but.
Okay, that's the only reason.
No, I understand
But,
that, and then that is allowed, because
Yes.
it says as a matter of public safety, that you can extend into a 1/4 mile into the R1, which is 1,320 feet, or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm against it or
Right.
so, but I'm just, I guess that's my question, because the Melbourne Hills and the site-specific and Environmental One people indicated that those homes with perhaps failing systems, existing homes, could actually utilize the grinder pumps that they showed us. And they could just run the line right down the shoulder of Salford Station, tie right into.
The pumping station, a big pumping station, because.
You would not need a pumping station whatsoever. They said that at the last planning commission meeting. And I'm not representing the planning commission at this
No,
point.
that's fine.
When you size a low-pressure system, you need to know everything that's going to go into it. And you're gonna need to connect that up soon because it's sized for that number. It doesn't have the flexibility that you have in a gravity system. So it's not just as easy as saying, well, 5 years from now we'll
You're
connect him, and 10 years from now we'll connect her.
You can't.
Because you're gonna have to size, you're gonna have to.
Size,
design
well, I think
systems
he
for
mentioned
the
sizing the lines, but if we're only talking about maybe 4 to 5 additional homes that are in the R1 with failed systems to come down that hill, they had indicated, the professionals that were here indicated that they could handle that and they could do that without putting a pumping station in. So I guess this is why, if you're still talking pumping stations, I'm thinking is it, how many homes do you plan on?
It's not what we plan, it's the failing systems that are gonna come along in the next 5 to 10 years. If you don't start looking 20 years from now ahead, the people that are here 15 years from now are gonna say, well, that was stupid, now we gotta do a whole new system like the plant over here.
Yeah, so.
You see, and you don't wanna do that, you gotta plan 20 years in advance.
So here's,
Even though you don't put it in
But
today,
if they said that the grinder systems would solve the same.
they will not, they'll only solve 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 homes. They won't solve them all up through there as they fail.
It seemed different because I had asked about elevations and things like that, and I'm just, I'm open to
I
all
follow you,
options,
yeah.
I can see. And they're saying that yes, it could go up that, up that little hill, like by where Sailors is, and then tie in right at Melbourne Hills. And the grinder systems could accommodate, it's not just 3 or 4 homes. There are some developments that have 3,200 homes that are utilized just grinder systems with no pumps. So this is why I was trying to figure out, to make an informed decision, what is the mutual benefit to the township of having a pump station? If the same thing can be utilized, and then too, if we put a pump station in, it's about $18,000 a year or so cost to the township to maintain it. Is that worth to pay $180,000 to maintain a pump station for only 3 people for the next 20 years until these others? I mean, these are the things I'm trying to figure out. I'm not just saying that you're going to change all the zoning there. I said,
Okay.
but but I just
Warren,
can't see the.
you wanted to say.
Well, I was just going to say the same thing she did. From what I understood, listening to the pump guy, they can solve individual people's problems from a pretty good distance. I mean, anybody on South Station Road could run a line that's only below the frost line up to, all the way up to tie it into in front of Little's.
who would pay for that?
They just have to get it up to the top of the hill.
The township would end up being responsible for any lines that go on the public right of way.
Everyone.
So
Right, and if it was a line,
Ideally, you want everybody into the same line. The problem is, if it's gonna take 20 years to connect them, you're gonna have to run multiple lines in parallel, because you can't have 3 people going into a huge line. It'll all
Sure.
turn septic before it ever even
yeah,
gets down.
I get that, but
So-
but the cost of, they're talking about a 2-inch line for 47 houses. So I mean, how much smaller of a line would you make than 2 inches for 5 houses, you know what I'm saying? And the cost of running a 2-inch line only 4 feet deep is.
Yeah, but you gotta understand the whole sewer system. I mean, you really, you don't understand the sewer system. You better go home and do some homework.
Well, I understand it, this is completely
No.
different than the gravity system.
Yeah.
I know it is, but I'm gonna tell you, you better learn the systems before you understand it, am I correct? You're going down the wrong alley with it, I gotta be honest with you. I've been around it way too many years and I know what it's all about.
Yeah,
And I'm not trying to, steer you wrong, I'm just telling you.
So you're saying that these grinder pump systems and
Not
smaller
saying-
lines are problematic? What's
I didn't say that, when that main line gets put in, we have to maintain that, and if it gets jammed, that's our responsibility, or clogged, there's a lot to it, a lot more. I'm not saying that project won't work there, okay?
So
But it
you're
won't benefit us if they just do the grinder pumps and run it to Little's. If we don't look at possibly getting a pumping station down there by the Ciota, then, or the Gashahopping, by Smith's or somebody, somewhere along there, that would benefit us more, and they could send it down to there, then
By
we could use
Smiths
it.
or Schmitz? Do you mean?
Schmidt's farm there.
Well,
Can I-
there's
Or
Oshler,
Old Schleier,
Schmitz,
yeah.
Graders.
I'm
So just-
telling you.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna jump in here and just share some personal stories, is we've seen over the last 3 or 4 years, 3 people we know who could not sell their houses because their septic could not pass inspection. And it cost them between $30,000 and $45,000 personally to put in a brand new septic system. We know one person who not only has to do that, but because of the brand new septic system, because their old system failed, they have to dig a new well. So this is a huge issue that we're trying to think ahead and solve and try to benefit other people who are, it has nothing to do with development, it has to do with people whose systems are gonna be failing when they turn to sell their houses, as we've had people try to do, and they have to dig into their own pockets or not sell because their septic systems have failed. So we're trying to think ahead and solve a problem. We're not trying to cause any more problems or cost any more money, but if we can get them to put in a pumping station, that helps all of us.
So I'm a product of the 20-year plan. I'm on 14, so, you know, having